Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. What is this video about? Well, I'm gonna give you the 30-second version, then I'm gonna go a little bit into detail. So last week I was in Arizona at Gun Sight Training Facility at a small event with some of my friends, hanging out with the guys at Frankfurt Arsenal. And long story short, I took a loading class, and I'm not going to pretend to be some kind of expert. You guys know me, I'm black and white, you know, wear it on my sleeve, whatever. I'm going to tell you exactly my perspective on what happened. But yeah, I took a 3-day course on loading with Frankfurt Arsenal and learned a ton of stuff. They brought in a guest speaker, a guy who I now call my friend, a guy named Gavin from the Ultimate Reloader channel. Y'all go check out their channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Gavin's a cool cat. Let me ask him, 500 questions on loading, and I absorbed as much information as I could from the Frankfurt Arsenal guys and Gavin, the Ultimate Reloader. Asked a ton of questions. Super cool cats. Literally felt like I was hanging out with family. Really had a great time and soaked up a ton of knowledge. That's one of the #1 questions you guys ask me is, hey, when are you gonna learn how to load up some of the boolots for your bing bangs? And that is what I did last week in Arizona. So let's get into the video. I'm just gonna give you some narration here on what we did throughout the week. I've got some notes outline. I want to tell you a little bit about what we did, but had a blast with my own boolots that I loaded myself. Got hits at 1,438 yards. Pretty cool, pretty fun. It means that much more knowing that you loaded that sucker. Hitting targets pretty much just about further than you can even see with your eyeballs. But let's get into the video. Again, a big shout out to my new friends at Frankfurt Arsenal. I'll put some kind of link down below where y'all can go check them out. But really good folks. That means a lot to me when I meet and hang out with people. I meet people all the time. I talk to people every single day. But it means a lot to me when people are just good folks. You know what I mean? You guys are catching my drift. But the Frankfurt Arsenal cats, super cool dudes. Super cool dudes. I can't thank them enough for their hospitality and their generosity in giving me all the information that I could soak up. Literally. I tried to ask as many questions as I could. Literally was there as 100% newbie. Humbling myself way down here because I'm totally ignorant to any of that stuff, and they're 100% the experts. But now I'm rambling. Let's get into the video. Let's kick it off. Let me grab my outline here, and we're just gonna walk through it. All right, so right off the jump, they set us up. Everybody had their own desk. Tons of Frankfurt Arsenal equipment, from the primer tool to the press. All 10 more pieces of equipment that I'm not remembering the names off the cuff. Set us up with our own desk, all the equipment that we would need throughout the week. Set us up with a Seekins Precision Havoc hit rifle, HIT, in 6mm Creedmoor with a Crimson Trace Hardline Pro optic on top with 24 zoomies. You guys that watch the channel know that I'm a big fan of Crimson Trace optics. They're awesome. But yeah, set us up with a Seekins Precision 6mm Creedmoor with a real nice Crimson Trace on top with all of that equipment. So right off the jump, day one, we went out to the 100-yard range and zeroed our 6mm Creedmoors with some factory ammo. And I actually have some of the same stuff here at the house. This is some Burger 109s. This is factory loaded burger stuff. But this, on day one, this is what we sighted in the Seekins with. It's good stuff. And that's actually the projectiles that we use too, are those Burger 109 hybrid target projectiles. But day one, we went out to the 100-yard range, sighted in the sequence with that factory loaded stuff. From there, we had some brass, right? Got to have the brass. That's kind of the whole ticket. Then we went into some real baseline basic stuff where Gavin from the Ultimate Reloader, he starting literally square one. Most of the people there that I was with, as far as I know, were newbies just like myself. So base layer, talking about stuff like case length and the ogive and the jump and stuff like that. I should have put more in my notes, some more terms, and make myself sound smarter. But literally, you guys know I'm a newbie, so I'm not trying to sound smarter than I am. But Gavin, Ultimate Reloader, hit us with some base knowledge. Here's the mechanics of how things work. Here's what you need to know. Here's where you can look up info. Got to be safe here. Make sure you're doing this right. Went through a bunch of terms and a bunch of the mechanics of how, just literally how stuff works. The physical pieces that you need to put it together. You know, somebody like me, who's pretty much absolutely clueless, never done it before, gotta know the baseline starting in kindergarten here. So learned a lot, asked a lot of questions, took some notes, filmed some of it so I could go back and review it. But day one, went over a bunch of base level stuff so we could get our feet grounded there. And then we got into our first run. So what we did there was he gave us a standard overall length, and then we went through, I've got my little dope book here, we went through and did 10 different charges here. This is the tape I had on the box. And then we went to the range and chronographed them. This is literally my notes from the range out there, if you guys can check it out. This is the velocity and the standard deviation and the extreme spread from each one of those loads. We wrote our data down, so doing that nerdy stuff, but from those 10 loadings that we did, you know, obviously it was our job to look at the data, run them on the chronograph, see what was the most consistent. Mine had was an average velocity of 3,046 feet per second, standard deviation of 5, and an extreme spread of 12. So not too shabby. Just looking at the numbers, I mean, I was kind of proud of it, never done it before. But so the next test that we did, so we did all those different powder loads, right? The next test we did was, and I'm probably going to mess up what I'm saying as far as my terminology goes and all that, but the next test that we did was changing the overall length and changing how much that projectile is jumping before it hits the grooves there in the barrel. So we varied this stuff by 5 1,000ths. You can see my notes here. Started with, come on, focus, my dude. 2.875 was where I was at with the projectile starting in the groove. So then we backed off 10 thousandths, and then another 5, and then another 5, and then another 5, and then another 5. And then we loaded up 5 of each. And then we actually went and sent those and looked at the groups. So now that we found the best and most consistent charge from our first test, then we went and tested the jump there and saw which did the best groups, what was most consistent. Super cool getting all that data. And that was interesting too, because everybody slowed down. We were going for groups to check out what people got, you know. Essentially, we're all using the same tools, doing the same thing, right? But it's super interesting seeing people's results, you know. Different. This guy's got a different bing bang than me, you know, and everything could be slightly different. But definitely was a winner out of those groups that we did. So after we did that, I made a quick adjustment just to bring that group back and dialed in. We already set it in with the factory stuff, but then I needed to set it in with my stuff, right? And then we went out to the steel range and recorded our dope. And that's where we got hits. We started at 300, then 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. I got hits at all those, every 100 yards out to 1,000. Then even got hits at 1,438 yards. That was the furthest piece of steel on that range we had. But let me roll in some footage real quick. Actually, let me show you my dope card here. So at 300 yards, this is zeroed at 100. At 300 yards, this is my dope in mils. 0.4. And then 400 is 1. I'm reading it backwards. 500 is 1.4. 600 is 1.9. 700, 2.9. 800, 3.9. 900, 5.5. 1,000, 6.5. And then for that 1,438 yard hit, I had to dial 11.2 mils. So lots of mirage out there. It was really, I have a really nice camera for filming that long range stuff. That's literally why I bought it, for this stuff and dropping deers on film. But let me roll in some of the footage that I did get of these hits. 6mm Creedmoor. It's low recoil and it's flat. The BC on these was like 0.59 something, I think. Yeah, this box has got the G7 scale. I'm not as familiar with that, but I think the G1 is 0.59 or something. Let me roll in these hits real quick.
Impact. Yep. I can't quite tell. You appear to be, if I'm right,
your barrel's gonna be like 1,000 degrees.
Yeah. Maybe under the orange dot. You're not over the tip of it. You're either on it or just under the orange dot. Favor right. Impact. Good job, everybody.
Right on the right.
Right edge. Still good. Impact. Sporty. There you go. Impact center plate. Favor right. Favor right. Impact.
But hey, those Seekins, fantastic. I didn't even have the trigger tuned down. I was with like probably a 3-pound trigger or so. Really no problem whatsoever executing those hits. It's a whole lot of fun to hit steel, especially as you get out and can still hear it. That's a whole lot of fun. If you've never had the chance to do anything at those type distances, check it out if there's a place near you, or if there's people around you that do it, or who will teach you how to do it. We've done tons of videos with tons of different cartridges out to 1,000 yards. If you guys haven't seen those, go check it out. We've done 22 250. I'm not even going to try to name them. If you can think of it, we've probably flung them out to 1,000 yards. And if we haven't yet, it's in the works. But hey, had an awesome time last week hanging out with my new friends at Frankfurt Arsenal. Y'all go check them out. Like I said, I'll have a link down below. If you're a veteran, they're 100% going to have all the goodies you need. If you're a newbie like me, they're super cool cats. Send them an email, give them a phone call, something. Super cool cats, super helpful. Anything that you need to get started, they got it. Like I said, they have a big spectrum of stuff, whether you're a newbie like me or an expert who already knows pretty much everything there is to know. Super cool dudes. Cannot say enough about those folks. Absolutely had a blast. Pretty cool putting it together, then taking it out, getting consistent results with it, and seeing firsthand how some things work better than other things. And there definitely is a science and a way to get peak performance out of your rig. So that's one thing, to go to the store and, well, we can buy 15 different boxes, right, and see what the best is for our particular bing bang we got out there. but it's that much cooler to put it together, do some trial and error, see firsthand what works, take it out there, stretch it out even past 1,000 yards, and just prove its consistency. Super, super awesome. But I could ramble on about this all day. Like I said, big shout out to the folks at Frankfurt Arsenal. Y'all go check them out. I'll put some kind of something somewhere where y'all can find them. But appreciate y'all big time. Let me know if you like this video and you want to see more like it. Stay tuned for a whole lot more videos. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one. WHOTEEWHO!